So if you want to write it with a radical, this particular one is from slide 5, but on any of the answers, you're welcome to leave it in its radical form. I believe Ozzy left it in his radical form here. And then if you would like to leave it in the decimal format, you're welcome to, but I want you to use 3 decimal places, thousandths, tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 3 decimals, unless it tells you something else, right? So on like 2 problems, it tells you like round to the 10th or round to the 100th. But for the rest of them, I want you to use 3 decimal places. Okay, 3 decimals. Can somebody tell me in the chat how many decimal places am I supposed to use? Just quick check for understanding here. How many decimal places? Yeah, 3. Thank you. Thanks for those people who are on their toes. So for all the slides, you can either leave it in the regular format or like in the exact format with a radical, or you can leave it with 3 decimals rather than 2. My next part here is that when you are typing your answers, I saw a variety of different things. One, I saw people leave it in the radical form. That is great, no problem. 2, I saw some people were only putting 2 decimal places. Make sure that you're putting 3. And then 3, I saw that some people were only filling it out, like writing in the scratch, like in the little scratch area, but they weren't actually typing their answer. On every page, you should have somewhere to put your answer. So make sure that you're scrolling down to the bottom. Okay. My last piece is that if you try to put letters in here, right, it's going to count your answer wrong, right? So just all you're going to go ahead and do is put in just the numbers. Okay, so this is just some clarity on how to type in your answer since we are using the computer version this time. A little bit of practice for your computerized testing that you take at the end of 11th grade. So you want to make sure that you're just typing in the numbers for this particular one. Okay. And then finally, also shout out to Antoine if you want to check out, just like peep this awesome answer here. I love that he used different colors in order to really show his thinking. So really appreciated that. Thank you, Antoine. All right. Finally, I wanted to talk about rounding. I saw a big problem on rounding here. All right. So this was the problem. It was the square root of 2,225, right? So this one here, right, which simplifies to 5 square root 89, right? So this is an appropriate answer, right? And when you type this in, when you type in square root of 2,225, you get this as your answer, 47.1699, right? So I saw 2 major groups of people. One type of person put 47.16 and one type of people put 47.17. Which of these is correctly rounded? Which of these is correctly rounded? Did I stump you? Yes, Alejandra. Can you come off mute and talk to us about why 47.17 is the correct rounding? Oh yeah, I forgot your mic doesn't work. That's my bad. Okay, Antoine, talk to us about 47.17.
Okay, so it's 47.1 because there's a 9 and you said do 3, but usually most likely it will be like you want to leave 2 decimals usually. So you round up, and if it's 5 or up, you round a number. So it's the 6 goes to a 7 because it's a 9 after the 6.
Yes, absolutely. So super important. I love what Antoine said about 5 or higher, right? We want to round up. Yes, technically we want to use 3 decimal places, but 17 actually is 3 decimal places in this point because this 9 right here would round this 169 up to 170, right? So you could put 170 here, right? That would make this answer even better, 170. But if we were going to choose between 176 and or 0.16 and 0.17, we would want to choose 0.17, right? What we do if we just type in these 4 digits right here and we forget about the 9, it's called truncating, right? And when we truncate answers, is when things get really dicey in our problems, right? So you want to make sure that you are using the entire decimal all the way through the problem. Don't round, don't truncate until the end. And then at the end, I want you to round, right? Truncating will always mean that we're like a little bit rough, right? Well, in half the situations, we'll be a little bit off. Okay. So did want to just chat quickly about rounding. All right, let me look at this really fast. Okay, so if I anonymized my humans here, so you can see who you are if you look up in the top corner, right? You can see who you are. Most of us are up to number 8, right? Up to number 8. If you are on your page and you see that there is a little notification here, it might be green. That means I have left you some type of notification, right? That means that I have like typed, or Miss Yama has typed like some type of feedback to you. And so you can click on it and will allow you to see your feedback. We are going to continue working all the way today. All right, we're going to continue working all the way to slide 20, all the way through slide 21. When you get to 22, you'll see this guy, and that will mean that you are done, right? When you get to 22, that means you're done. And then for 23 and 24, those are extra credit. Okay, 23 and 24, those are extra credit. Here is what I'm going to do. Everybody is staying on the call. If you have a question on a particular number, I am happy to stay on the call with you. I'm sorry, I'm going to stay on the call, obviously. So is everybody else. If you have a particular slide number, you just let us know which slide number you'd like to go over, and then we will go over that slide. Okay. I and Ms. Yama are going to be leaving you feedback as you go. So if you see that feedback box pop up, then you can go ahead and go back to that question and check out that one. It might have meant that you've done something slightly wrong. Okay. What are we working on right now? What should you be doing right now? Slides 10 through 20, for sure. So so most of us finished the notes already, right? If you did not finish the notes, you're working through the notes. That goes up to slide 8. And then you're working on slides 10 through 20. If you have any questions, you're going to go ahead and ask those, right? It looks like a lot of us are 4s and 5s. That's looking pretty good after the notes. So you're going to go ahead and keep working. Right? All right. I'm going to mute for now. Ms. Yama and I will be giving you feedback as you go. And please let me know if you have a question that you want to go over. So just tell me what slide you're on. You can tell me what number is up here, number out of 24. Yeah, Antoine, what's up?
Okay, quick question. Okay. So like, when you put the 2 points that they give you in, how do you know if your sign is going to be like upside down, or is it going to be down?
Do you mean like if I have like this point here and this point here, like should I make my triangle? So I know this is the line I'm trying to find, but should I make my triangle like over here, or should I make it like up here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't actually matter. It's kind of cool actually. Like this is 2 here. And if I do this other triangle, I'll have 2 over here. And then this is 7. And up top is 7. So I'm going to be using 2 and 7 no matter what.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Make sure. Okay,
yeah, for sure. No problem. The only thing you don't want to do, Antoine, is you don't want to like drop your line all the way down here to the x-axis, right? Because that's not going to make a right triangle. That's going to make a non-right triangle. So you just want to be careful that you just draw it like down and over, and then you're going to draw a right triangle like this.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So you subtracted the 3 from the 8 and you got 5. Can you use the same strategy to get the how tall it is?
Yes. Oh, that's what it was. I wasn't sure. I was just stuck because I didn't want to do the wrong thing.
Yeah, no, you're fine. So you have 2 to 6 would be 4, right?
Yes.
And then you can calculate from there using the formula.
Yes. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, hey team, I want to talk about 15 really fast. I'm seeing a lot of wrong answers based on rounding. So when you do this, you should get the square root of 100 or 1,108. Oops, sorry. So this here should be 1,108. And when you take the square root of that, you should get 100, no, sorry. You should get 33.2866339542, right? And if you take that and you multiply it times 6, you should get 199.7, right? 199.7. What I'm seeing a lot of is people saying, okay, this is 33.3 if I round. 33.3 times 6 is 199.8. Notice if we round in the middle of the problem, we actually get the wrong answer, right? It's not 0.8, it's 0.9. And the reason why is because we need to do square root of 100. We need to take this entire number, right? We can copy this whole number. If we copy this whole number and multiply times 6, we're going to get 199.7, which is the correct answer, 199.7. So you do want to double check that when you get your correct answer, or when you get your exact answer, that you're not rounding or cutting off any decimals until you get to the end, to the very end. So you should be putting in here 199.7, not 0.8. You also, because it says round your answer to the nearest tenth, right? You want to make sure that you only have one decimal place, and you want to make sure that it is a decimal number and not the radical number. Okay, so decimal and not the radical. Okay. Does 0.722, yes, that's a correct answer, Antoine, but it is not going to be marked correct because it says nearest tenth. So since it says tenth, that has to be only one decimal place. Right? So the computer is actually going to mark you wrong if you put more than one because it asks you explicitly for tenth. Yeah, good question. Yeah, Blanca, I can, for sure. Okay, my friends, it is 2:50, so if you need to sign off, you are welcome to. If you want to stay on, I can stay for a couple more minutes to check some people's work. Otherwise, your homework is 10 through 20, numbers 10 through 21. Sorry, 10 through 21. And that is your homework. Okay. If I don't see you tomorrow, have a great weekend. Have a great weekend.